Week 10, International Pricing Strategies. Have you ever wondered why an iPhone costs 70,000 Cuban pesos in the Philippines, but in the US, it feels much cheaper? It's not just about the product, it's about hidden forces like currency exchange, government regulations, and even consumer psychology. In fact, the same product can have 5 different prices depending on where you buy. Because international. Pricing is both a science and an art. From Jollibee competing with McDonald's, to Netflix charging Filipinos less than Americans, pricing reveals the secrets of global marketing strategy. Join me in Week 10 as we uncover how companies set prices worldwide and why the number on the tag is never just a number.
So, good day everyone, and welcome to Week 10, International Pricing Strategy. Pricing in international market requires balancing costs, demand, competition, and currency issue. A price that works in Manila may fail in Tokyo or New York. So, we're now going to study how do we price a product, service, or an idea when we export this to other countries. So, we're talking about price. We're not talking about other variables in selling product, service, or ideas to other countries. So what are the key concepts using Philippine example? Let's go first with cost-based pricing. So what is it? Setting price based on product cost. So a local brand like Bench sets price on fabric plus labor plus overhead. So it's easy, no? Sometimes when we sell something here in the, locally, just put on some markup based on the cost. Okay? So, halimbawa, kung bumili ka ng itlog ng 350, that's the cost of goods sold, and then you have a markup of, say, 5 pesos per egg. So, you just add that to the cost, okay? So, demand-based pricing, another variable. Adjusting price based on what consumers are willing to pay. So, this is more on the mindset, how valuable your product, service, or idea is. For example, concert tickets for Taylor Swift in Manila were priced higher due to high demand. Again, another example is the K-pop, no? Can you imagine a 25,000 ringside ticket? For a price for the price of the ticket. So it not only covers the cost but all of the value of that ticket. Okay. Another consideration is competition-based pricing. So price set relative to competitors. Example, Jollibee prices burgers slightly lower than McDonald's to capture Filipino consumers. So it's based not on cost, it's not based on demand, but it's based on competition. Okay. Another one is price skimming. Launching a product at high price then lowering it. So example, Apple iPhone launched at 70,000, later dropping after a year. So again, price skimming is more on a strategy in acquiring new markets and also or expanding your market. So you start with a higher price and then feel if that price will be acceptable to consumers. Okay, so this one, like for example, iPhone, they price their product at a much premium price kasi pag bago. Siyempre, pag luma na, kanilang at may lalabas ng ibang model, they could lower it. But eventually, capturing more market kasi nga bumaba. No? They play that the iPhone of 70,000 that is pricey have a bigger effect on the minds of the consumers that they're getting a bargain. Di ba? So, another factor, strategy is penetration pricing. Low initial price to gain market share. So, example, in the Philippines, we have Shopee. Shopee offered heavy discount when entering the Philippine market. So, ang Shopee, binaba nila yung mga discount. Marami silang discount to get the Philippine market. And also, there is this new Shopee app or platform where they offer merchandise, no, free merchandise, just for you to sign up. Okay. Then another one is what? Yeah, another addition of penetration pricing. So it means that again, it's just like price skimming, where the objective here is to what? To gain more market share by lowering your price, especially if you're a new entrant and you want to capture more market, you could offer discounts. Another one is psychological pricing. So prices ending in 0.99 appear cheaper. Example, in SM department store, pricing items at 999 instead of 1,000. To the minds of the consumer, it is quite what? Very affordable. Okay. Another big factor to consider, no, when exporting your products abroad is the currency exchange impact. No? Again, fluctuating rates affect import and export. Example, a strong dollar makes imported U.S. products more expensive for Filipinos. So how is this? No, when we say the dollar is weakening, it means that there are more dollars could be converted into peso. If the dollar is getting stronger, it means there is few peso to be converted to dollars. So when the currency is weakening, it's favorable to OFW but increases our what? Our international debt, because we have to pay to buy more dollars we have to pay more dollars, and the cost of the dollar is very what? Expensive, because $1 has more peso to buy. Another one is price discrimination, charging different prices in different markets. So how is it? So Netflix charges lower subscription fees in the Philippines than in the United States. So price discrimination. So parang tinitignan mo kung saan yung nakapwesto yung product mo, at tinitignan mo kung anong kaya nilang bilhin o yung purchasing power nila. For example nga, if you go to the UST, no, another example, you go to UST, ang titawag nilang university belt, no, prices there are more expensive compared with our campus, no. Mas mura yung magpa-Xerox, magpa-bookbind compared doon. Bakit? Kasi nga mukhang mas kaya ng market nila na mag-charge na ganun compared sa ating school. So that's what we call price discrimination. Another one is transfer pricing. Internal pricing between company divisions in different countries. Example, a multinational with a branch in Manila may adjust prices to reduce tax burden. So remember, ang tax kasi, it's based on the income earned. So if you lower your price, it means lesser income, therefore paying less taxes. And the last one is price control regulation. So this affect your price, no? Government imposed price ceiling. So ito yung mga basic commodities. For example, in the Philippine government regulates rice prices to protect consumers. So, okay. So in conclusion, pricing strategies are not one size fits all. So nakita nyo, we have 10 variables, no? It is not the same to every product, service, or idea when we export to other countries with respect only to pricing, no? So there are 10 considerations. I mentioned that a while ago. So it's not one size fits all when it comes to pricing. They must adapt to local purchasing power, culture, and regulation while still ensuring profitability. Okay, I hope you learn something, and see you in the next lesson. Thank you for watching.